At the beginning of October, Marielle and I were invited down to Cofton Holiday Park near the seaside town of Dawlish to sample the fishing that was available on site whilst also staying in one of their luxury lodges. Beautiful. The view ain't bad either, is it? Well, welcome to another episode of Nothing But Campsites. We're fishing, of course. I'm on Cofton Holiday Park, and this is just outside of Dawlish. So Dawlish is kind of a couple of miles over those trees and fields in the distance, but beautiful view here. We've got a lovely luxury lodge for the weekend. Hot tub behind, which is probably where we'll spend most of this evening. But I'm not here just to give you a review of the accommodation, as lovely as it is. I will get into that future in the video, but there's some lakes down the bottom. So down there is 5 lakes, all different disciplines of fishing. So whether you want to go for tench, roach, rudd, perch, and carp, of course, that's what I'm mainly going to be focusing on. I met with Luke from the tackle shop and sort of who runs all the fishery side of things here today, and he took me around the lakes. Lovely little lakes surrounded by trees, so it's nice and secluded as well from the campsite. So you wouldn't even know they're here really until he took me down to them. But there's something for everyone. Of course, I'm going to be aiming for the carp this weekend. Probably doing a few morning sessions, evening sessions, and then in the day we'll go and visit local towns and things. But for this evening, we're settled into the lodge. We're going to crack open a few more ciders this evening, I'm sure, get in the hot tub. And that's when I'm going to turn the cameras off, because you don't need to see everything. But we're going to enjoy our weekend. Well, this is certainly the earliest I've been up on a Saturday in a very long time. My alarm went off at 6:30. I was already awake because the wind was smashing against the side of the lodge. It's pretty grotty weather today, although down here seems to be its own little microclimate, because although it's still raining, it's not really that windy, whereas it was smashing against the lodge at the top of the hill. But a short drive down, the lodges are probably a drive down to the lake, only a minute or so, and then parked up just the other side of the trees behind me. Little walk across the bridges past the Match Lake, and I'm now on to Luscombe. This is the specimen carp lake, the one that's got the majority of carp in. Probably a few bits and bobs of other species as well, but predominantly the carp species in here. And I just want to get a few bites under my belt before later this morning. Next door is the slightly more difficult lake, less stock, but some bigger fish. So hopefully if I get a few fish under my belt on here, I can jump on there. And I think potentially myself and Luke, who runs the tackle shop and runs the place, might do a bit of perch fishing at some point, because there's some big perch to be had as well. So yeah, it's looking good. Well, I say looking good, it's horrendous weather. Wall-to-wall rain today is forecast, so hence why I'm cladded up in all my waterproofs, and broke out the trusty old GoPro, which I've not used for probably a year or so. So a lot of the footage will probably be from this, because that camera doesn't cope too well in the rain. But yeah, fingers crossed we'll have something early on. I'd say these margins undercut. Pads again. Oh, he's come off. Oh, you scared the hell out of me. I did not hear you coming.
It was at this moment that he knew. He thought.
Another one lost. Does it really matter what you use in here? Because that's one bite on white, one bite on pink. Oh, it just kind of sticks some bait in front of them and they'll have it. Sort of thing.
I love white on all of these legs for some reason. Well, I know, I say for some reason, I never really.
Three.
Proper as well, isn't it?
They've all been like that. There we go, lovely little fish, probably around the £6–7 mark I'd say, but very welcome all the same, and it looks like the action will continue throughout the morning, and if I wanted to stay all day I'm sure I'd bag up like mad. Happy days, slip the rod back out and I'm sure I'll have a few more. Well, it's just gone 11 o'clock, so that 4 hours has absolutely flown by, and I've just checked the forecast and I think I've had the best of the day, to be honest. It hasn't been too bad, it's not really stopped raining, but it's not been overly heavy, but just check the forecast then, and from sort of 11:30, 12 onwards it is just heavy rain solid. So I think I'm going to cut my losses here and bring the rods in a minute. And I managed just the one fish landed, but I did have 4 bites in the space of about an hour, so I'm not sure why I lost 3, because it's rigs that I've caught plenty of fish on before with no issues, but then again 2 of them lost in the pads, one of them went around the corner of this little bay. That's just what happens, and then I landed the 4th bite. So 4 bites in quick succession. It very much seems that they were on the feed this morning. It's died a death since then. I've not even seen any fish. There were fish rolling and things this morning, but nothing's happened. There's someone else down the bank now. I don't think he's had anything. I think we're going to give it about another 10–20 minutes until this rain starts to get heavier, bring the rods in, get everything prepped, and potentially get a few more hours in later on this evening. I think we're planning on having a meal out. If not, I'll be down again first thing tomorrow morning, probably before breakfast, for a couple of hours again, and try and get that morning bite window. But, it's been lovely all the same. So today has been absolutely horrendous weather outside. We've done the best we can. We visited a local farm shop, we went to a pub of course, just watched Bristol City beat Nottingham Forest 2-1, which is brilliant, and we've got a meal out in just under 2 hours, and that means I've got just under 2 hours to go fishing again. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yes. So let's go down to the lake. I've got some solid bags already tied up. I did that whilst I was watching the football. Ping them out, fish for about an hour, hour and a half, come back, shirt up, go for a meal. Perfect, let's go. Well, there we go, no more than 5 minutes after leaving the lodge, I'm down at the swim. So I'm going to sit the rods out in the same positions as I was fishing this morning. I put quite a bit of sweet corn out this morning when I left, thinking that I'd come back here this evening. No one else has been fishing in this swim all day from what I understand, only that other angler that turned up this morning. He's now gone, so I'm the only one on the lake. I'm going to sit the 2 rods out with the solid bags that I've already tied up and see if we can get something before we got to shoot back for the meal out. Let's go. But there we go. The result of popping down for, I've only been here half an hour and the rod's gone off. So it's worth just popping down, even if you've got an hour spare. Now obviously it's just me and Marielle down here on the trip. If you're here with your family, you got an hour window or something, the missus gives you the okay, pop down here and you can have some fish. And that's the sort of ethos of this place, shall we say. But yeah, brilliant. I'm going to stick that rod back out because I've still got about 20 minutes left and see if we can get another one. But that is very much welcome. Brilliant. Let's get it back.
There's the sugar. I'm being as quiet as possible so that I don't wake up Marielle. Because she's being sane. It's 10 to 7 on a Sunday morning, so I've been up 20 minutes getting ready. And I'm going to shoot down for first light again, like I did yesterday. I've only got about a 2 hour window this morning because I'm going to come back and have breakfast with Marielle about 9 o'clock. So I'm going to hit back a coffee, which is a lovely new coffee actually. We got this from a local farm shop, there's one on the corner just down the road. Marielle loves a farm shop, but this is amaretto infused instant coffee. I can't taste the amaretto, but it's got caffeine in it and I need that right now. It's still nice. And so yesterday, as you saw, I chucked some bait in right before I left in the evening before you went out for a meal, just so that they had some bait to feed on when I wasn't there. So I'm going to go down this morning, hopefully there's still some fish in those areas, lower some baits in and hopefully get a quick bite or two. We had a meal out last night which was absolutely lovely. We went to one of the, there's normally a few food places open on site, but as COVID at the moment there's a couple of places that aren't fully open, but we went to one of them and we had pulled pork, chili nachos I think it was to start with, amazing. Could have easily had a couple of bowls of that. Followed up by, I had steak and Marielle had bacon wrapped pork I think it was. And then finished off, she had a crumble and I had a Bailey's cheesecake, all washed down with a lovely bottle of wine and a cider. Both had to walk back up the hill feeling like barrels, but very, very nice food. So highly recommend you eat out here if you do ever fancy joining. Came back, jumped in the hot tub, had a bit of a nice evening here, and then I watched Match of the Day. But Marielle wasn't quite as keen on that part as I was. But that's the joy of this sort of holiday is I'm not forced, well, I wouldn't say forced to not do the nights because if it was night fishing I probably would do it, but the fact that it's days only means that you're kind of forced to spend time with your family and your missus, which is of course is a good thing. But I always feel obliged to do the nights if it's allowed. So the fact that it's not, and it's days only means that enjoy the evenings together. And I'm going to shoot down and see if we get some fish this morning. So stop rabbiting on, finish this coffee and go get some carp.
Only a little one, but very welcome all the same. Give him about £4, £3–4. Good little scrap. Well, I've kind of extended my little morning session a bit longer than first expected. It's about 10 past, £9 now, so I really do need to bring the rods in. The rain is starting to arrive. It's going to be another hit and miss day with the weather. I think we got quite a bit of rain forecast for this morning. A little bit this afternoon, nowhere near as bad as yesterday, so I'll be hopefully down another time, a bit later on, probably after breakfast potentially, if not maybe later on this afternoon or this evening. Not exactly sure what our plans are for today, but I do know Marielle's cooking up a nice stew tonight, which will be lovely. But yeah, more fish to be had for sure, but time to head back, have my breakfast, and I think they want theirs as well. They've been pestering me ever since I got here. Made the mistake of feeding them to start with, but anyway, rods in, back up to the lodge. So it's now 2:30 and the weather's been horrendous all day, and it has been pretty much all weekend. Just a bit of reference for when this video goes up. It's been, I think, record rainfall levels. It's been weather warnings for wind and rain, so it's not really been the best for fishing, but then again, we've got this lovely place to enjoy as well. But we're going to get a few hours fishing in now, aren't we? You've got your Carpy hat on. You're going to wear my salopettes, umbrella, chair, everything. But we're going to try and go get you a fish, aren't we? And then you're going to bugger off, leave me alone, and start making a stew.
Yes.
Sweet. Let's
Sounds
go.
like a plan.
Go on, quick, see that? Right, now tighten up the clutch.
Oh, sorry, that one.
Yeah, lift it. That way.
Mario's into a fish.
There.
Right, keep the tension. Keep the tip up, keep pulling it in. Wind a bit more. It's gone really slack.
Oh yeah, now I feel it. I am doing what you
No, I just don't know if I've got the clutch too loose. Let's stop winding a sec. If it pulls, you have to stop winding. Knowing you'll get the biggest one of the trip now.
It's pulling.
Right. Wind a bit. That'll be enough. You can net it now. When he pops up. Oh.
Got it?
Nope, nope. Pull away from the platform a bit. Just trying to go under the platform is all.
Where is it?
Here. Right, now slacken off. You can loosen off now. Well done.
Yay! It's a decent size as well.
Yeah. Thank you. Got a round of applause and everything. Well done. High five. Here we go. Marielle's got one.
Only 20 minutes in.
Exactly. We're just doing a really cheesy little photo shoot of us both in our vast salop hats and waders. And the first one you put out, which was just in the next swim in front of the platform, talking to Luke earlier, he said to just stick a rod like in the next platform right off the front. It was a hard patch, bit of bait on the top, and yeah, no more than 20 minutes.
He was a little fighter as well.
Well done. Give it a kiss then.
No, I'll give you a kiss.
No. Well, mini session number 4 is coming to a close, and it's pretty much followed the same sort of pattern as every other one. It kicks off pretty quickly with an initial bite. Marielle had that one within 20 minutes of us being here. I did have another funny little take. I think it was probably just a liner in the end, but because I'm not using bite alarms, I wasn't really sure. I just saw the rod bounce and we got onto the rod. There was nothing on the end. She headed back probably an hour and a half ago, maybe 2 hours ago, start cooking tea, and we're having a lovely slow cooked beef stew, I think it is, which is in the oven right now. So I'm looking forward to that because it's pretty chilly actually, I got to tell you. Rods are going to be last minute to come in as always, barely bringing much gear. You don't really need to. Of course you could pitch up for the whole day with your shelter and that, which some people have been doing, with the weather's been horrendous. But for me, if I'm in my waterproofs and I'm just doing a couple of hours here and there, travelling light has been ideal. But yeah, I've got about 45 minutes left until it's completely dark. This place runs on a dawn till dusk basis, no night fishing of course, so there's no strict times to be on and off, but basically sunrise to sunset, which is what I've been doing. This is always a good time to fish on day-ticket waters like this, because the fish are pressured throughout the day. It gets to this sort of time of day and people tend to head on, so I'm going to stay as late as possible before I head back, and hopefully nab 1 or 2 more fish from this lake before tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day here. We've got to check out and move on, but I'm going to go over to Lake 5, which is the other carp lake. There's less stock in there, but bigger average size and bigger fish. There's one that it goes up to around the 30 mark, and more of the fish are sort of doubles, bigger doubles, some 20s and things. Whereas in here, as you've seen, a lot of single figure fish. There are quite a lot of doubles in here as well, but I think Luke was saying there's something like 4 or 5 20s in here. I might be completely wrong on that, but I think it's around that. So there's a chance of the odd bigger fish in here, and but it's just good fun. It's nice sport like this, and it's very close quarters. I've just been plopping the rods in the margins really, and that's pretty much what I've been seeing other people doing. It's not big lakes, there's no point in casting them out far because you're going to upset other people, and if people rock up and fish is an opposite swim and you've got a rod there, it's your own fault. So I've just been plopping them in the margins really, and that seems to be doing the trick. But it was lovely seeing Marielle catch another fish and doing it all herself. She really wanted to put the rod out and things, and showing her knots as well. So she's showing an interest, which is nice. Got a round of applause from the older couple that were on the other bank. They were fishing together as well, and that woman had a couple of fish. So it's all ages and all genders, of course. All genders, being 2020, there's probably more than 2 for some of you. But men and women have been fishing on here, of course, and it's great to see women getting in the sport. And it's that sort of environment where you come here on holiday, you're chilling out with your family, a few hours down at the lake, or spend the whole day at the lake if you want, if the weather's nice. Catch a few fish and just enjoy yourself, and that's exactly what I am doing. I may not have caught many so far, but I've been enjoying myself. Well, I just finished doing a piece of camera, and the oh, another rod's away. 1 second. Right, that fish is in. I'll be back to you in a second. This is why I love waters like this. They may not be massive, but it's good fun. And this fish feels alright actually, so camera off and I'll see you, and hopefully I've got 2 in the net. So that was bite number 1, and he's still very, very lively, but pretty little fish. And if that was going to be the end of the session, I'd have been happy. I don't think he wants to be held up, so I'll put him down there. But the second fish, let's flip the net round, which went off as I was trying to film that first one, is much bigger. And here is fish number 2. So this was on the margin rod, the same rod that Marielle had one on earlier. And yeah, this one whizzed away. It felt a better fish, and sure enough it is. I give this around the, I don't know, 16, 17 mark. So this is the sort of thing you can catch. There's a few bigger in here, but average is a double. But I'm very happy. So that means I can completely tick off Lake 5 and go on to Lake 4 tomorrow. Hope to get something a little bit bigger. Happy days. So I've not done much updates today. It's been a bit of a flurry of activity, not from the fish front unfortunately, but we had to check out from the place at 10 o'clock this morning. So I got a couple of hours in first thing this morning on Lake 5, which is Trusham. And we've now moved over onto Lake 3, which is Ashcombe. Now the reason for that is because there's some good carp in here as well, so I'm going to check the carp rods out as well. But I'm joined by Luke, who I'll get on camera in a second, talk a bit more about the whole fishery and the complex and everything. But there's also some clonk and great perch to be had in here, so fingers crossed I get myself a PB perch. Looking forward to this. It's a last ditch attempt of getting some fish because we've got to be off. Well, I think technically we probably should have gone earlier, but a few hours left until sunset, then we got to head on home. And yeah, hopefully we'll get some fish this evening. Well, we can't have been here more than 5 minutes and this one's already gone away. No monster, but after a day of pretty much no action on the other lake, it's nice to get a bend in the rod and hear the, well, I say hear the clutch going. I didn't hear it to start with. Another passerby heard it first, but happy days. So off the mark on this lake, get it back out. I've got another one back out now as well, actually. And then we'll give the perch a try. Well, whilst I was filming fish number 1, fish number 2 went off. So said passerby that told me that my first rod was going off landed this one for me. Little ghosty, can't claim it's my own, but pretty fish nonetheless. Let's get it back.
Hi there, I'm Luke. I'm the fishery manager at Cofton Holiday Park. I've had Joe down this weekend doing a little bit of carp fishing on the specimen lakes here, but just like to fill you in on what we have to offer all the lakes across the site. We've got 5 lakes here at Cofton. We've got a match lake, match and pleasure lake, Mamhead Match Lake, Lake 1. It's fully stocked with carp, tench, bream, roach, rudd, a full mixed fishery. We've got Lake 2, Powder and Tench Pool, which is a lake with no carp in it. Something a little bit different, tench and silvers, there's crucian and a few ornamentals in there as well. Then we have Lake 3, Ashcombe Carp Pool, the lake we're currently fishing. Some big perch in here, and that's what me and Joe's hoping to catch this evening. Also has carp to 22 pounds, lots and lots of small ones as well. So a nice mixed carp lake as well. And then over the back, we have Lakes 4 and Lakes 5, and these are set up for specimen carp fishing. They have carp to just under 30 pounds at present, with a good head of 20s in there, and plenty of doubles. Here at Cofton, we cater for all levels of angler, from beginners all the way through to you seasoned anglers out there. We have a fully stocked tackle shop on site, and if you need a bit of advice or helping hand, it's worth popping in and saying hello.
Well, we've only got about half an hour left of light, and this is a much longer day than originally we thought we'd have, so that's been bliss that we've got a few extra hours fishing. Thank you very much, Marielle, I've got to say. She sat in the cafe all day because she's meant to be at work today, whilst I could get an extra day's fishing. So thank you very much for that. Now we moved over onto this lake, which is called Ashcombe. I always forget the names. Lake 3 for simpletons like me, and managed to have a few carp really quick succession, including a beautiful little, probably 1 pound or so. Actually, I think a 4th fish I just had a second ago again, only held it up for the GoPro, wasn't massive, and I'm very nearly out of battery life on my camera. It's been such a manic weekend, but I can't thank Luke enough, being a wonderful host. You're in earshot, so I mean that. Thank you very much, and Cofton Holiday Park for having us down. It's been great fun. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and be sure to check out the website and get yourself booked on there. A lot of you have been showing interest on Instagram whilst I've been here as well, and hopefully this video is showing you just what this place has got to offer. It's been great fun. Light's about to go, but we're still trying for some decent perch. I'm sure I'll put some footage in now if we catch anything, but before the light goes, I thought I'd say goodbye. But thank you for everyone watching. Please subscribe to me if you haven't already, and like the video if you did, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, because I do loads of updates on there when I'm doing these sort of trips, sort of extra content, keeping you all up to date. So yeah, I'm going to go try catch a monster perch.